Welcome, Veritas family. Thank you so much for joining us here at Give and Take Past the Tassel edition, where we are chatting with the class of 2025. I am Sherry Davis in the Office of Community Engagement, and I am here today with Rodney Love. Hi, Rodney.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for
Good.
joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So we're going to dive right in. Rodney, tell us where you're located and what ministry are you a part of?
So we are in Bakersfield, California, which is Southern California, and we're at Grace Baptist Church there in Bakersfield.
Okay, and what do you do there? What is your ministry there?
I'm the lead pastor and
Okay, very good.
just finished my second year there as a lead pastor.
Okay, congratulations. Very
Thank you.
good. We have asked all of our guests, what is your Veritas origin story? So what brought you to be a part of the Veritas family?
Well, it starts as I probably 7, 8 years into senior pastoring realized there was just so many things I felt like I wish I knew more information, and
Sure.
I just wanted to start reaching out beyond the school I had. And so I was actually at a conference with Kurt Scally and Carrie Schmidt, and they had referenced they were, taking classes through Veritas. And so I
Yeah,
started doing, and I needed something that allowed me to be where I was and not travel. That was the
right.
other thing, and having to fly down somewhere because I just couldn't afford it at the time. So
Sure.
when they mentioned it, I reached out and I was looking for a graduate from a college that wasn't accredited, and Veritas worked to help use some of what I already had to be able to go into it. So and then I
Good.
started looking up whether, I wanted a quality education and I
Mhm.
started talking to other friends and they were just bragging on the quality that they thought they got from the college. And so all of that worked together to really fit into what we were looking for. So, I mean, it's been great.
Yeah, very good. What led you to, so we also ask, usually we'll ask our guests, what faculty member has been an inspiration to you? Or maybe what aha moment have you had at your time here at Veritas?
There were actually kind of the same. There were two teachers that really, the first and my last one. I started with Dr. Forrester,
Hmm.
and just hearing about his story and his love for ministry just kind of gave me a new passion to go out and serve. And then and the funny part was, my wife jokes about this. It was probably at first my least favorite teacher because he had the probably the hardest class was Dr. Wagner,
Oh,
and
yes.
but he challenged us. I love the fact that he challenged us to think outside of what we've always thought.
Yep.
Not just to accept what someone says, and
Yep.
taught us how to do it. Taught us how to do it, and didn't just let us skate by. And I've always appreciated someone who's challenged us, and
Yeah.
so. I think at first I was like, I just can't wait till I'm done with this class. And then
Right.
I find it to be probably one of the most I enjoyed the most by the time it was done. Just his challenge, and he challenged and taught us how to exceed. And I felt like I gained so much from that.
Yeah, that's good. Remind us what your program is. Tell the
So
viewers.
I'm in the Master's in Ministry program,
And what was your specialization?
pastoral studies.
Okay, pastoral studies. Yeah. So, yes, Dr. Wagner is known for his ability to challenge, to really challenge. We
Yes.
definitely hear that a lot, but also he definitely challenges, but he also really intentionally connects.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in North Carolina right now, I
Yeah.
know that you're located there. He also is in North Carolina. If there was a way
Oh,
to squeeze in a cup of coffee, I know he'd do it. He would be
yeah.
there in a heartbeat. So,
Now,
there,
I would ask him questions, and he would answer questions in 5 to 6 minutes. I don't know how he was doing it. I mean, I didn't have to wait several days,
yeah.
and he was quick to answer even the silliest of questions,
Yep.
and took it seriously, and really made me, just made me feel important in that class, and it was not just another student, and really helped me a lot,
Yeah.
even in areas where I was like, I don't even know what you're looking for, and he just
Yeah, that's
didn't
the
just say
thing.
deal
It's
with it. He
because you don't know what you don't know. And so you feel really
exactly.
intimidated by asking those questions, but he doesn't make
Yeah.
you feel like you're an idiot. He doesn't make you
No.
feel stupid. So
No,
it
you
is
can tell in the
perfect.
class he's so intelligent, so you
Yeah.
almost feel intimidated. But then you talk to him in person, and he's just so easygoing. So
He's very
I
genuine.
really appreciated that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And when you mentioned Dr. Forrester, his classes were so practical. And I loved that he always, in those classes that I took, he allowed us to choose projects that we really it was helpful for our ministry, our current ministry,
Yes.
or it was something that we were passionate about. And it
Yeah.
allowed you to really delve in. It
Well,
didn't feel like it was a waste.
our project, I was actually working was in leadership, and I was working with some men, and the project I did was developing something with these men.
Oh,
So
nice.
I was able to literally, while I'm taking the class, developing something with our leaders at the same time.
Oh, nice.
So, and I use it. I've used it there. I'm using it at my current church, and it's been a huge help. So that first class, it was just I felt like I was getting so much.
It was really
Um,
foundational for
it
you. Yeah.
was, and answering questions that I had in the moment. I mean, it was like in the moment. So that was
And
really a
that's
big
what's
deal.
the beauty is you get somebody on the other line you can call right away to say,
Yep.
"Hey, I'm thinking about this strategy. Should I tweak this? What do you think about
hmm
that?" Yeah, they're
And
willing
he
to
was
take
a
those calls.
huge help, and just in some things we were, dealing with, and he gave me some ideas I'd never thought of, and just
Good.
helped us turn some things around at the church and develop some new leaders. And so
Oh,
I
that's
was
exciting.
literally what I was looking for. And so once I
Perfect.
finished that class, I'm like, yeah, and every class seemed like that, right where I was needed. That was the class that was helping me at that time. So I
Good.
just
That's really
felt
cool
like
to
I
hear.
grew so much in those
Yeah.
times because I was hitting things I'd never even considered. So
Oh, that's good. And I know that they love to hear that because, those guys have been at it for a good long while.
yeah,
It's kind of nothing new under the sun for them to hear these kinds of things, and they would be able
it's
to
true.
kind of pinpoint and tweak this and strategize
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, that's fun. So, well, you already beat me to my next question, which was how has Veritas impacted your ministry? But it sounds like it has in a big way, starting
Well,
right away.
the joke I had and when I went graduated college was they'll teach you everything but what you use in ministry.
Yes,
And
right.
that was true for a while. But
Mhm.
that was it. It was the fact that in a lot of times I would take one class I took, it was like in line with what I needed to do. It wasn't the one I wanted to take. And it was amazing how instead of I thought I was just taking school to get the next degree to move on,
Right,
but the practical and the day to day and the fact that I could talk to the professors and they gave me, I mean, quick answers. They knew what they were doing. You could see the wisdom, you could see the knowledge, and they listened. They weren't just trying to throw out theory. They'd listen and
right.
they would spend time with me. But yeah, it was almost immediately in that scenario when I was doing, of course, the resources they gave me, the books, I would have never known they existed. And they were ones that
Right.
I now use in discipleship in our current church. We use these books as the curriculum to help teach others as we're developing a discipleship program. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been, areas I was weak in, and I feel like I have something that I can go to and people when I'm looking.
That's
So that's
good.
been the biggest thing for ministry was like it wasn't theoretical. It was very straightforward and what I needed at the moment.
Well, let's
And
let's dive in there a little bit because what was your expectation of an online environment prior? And then what is your expectation or what is the outcome of that now? Has your mind changed a little bit about that?
well, I had some friends that took some online. I'll be honest, at first I was a little leery. I was a
Sure.
little leery that, the fear was not a good education or I was on my own the whole time.
Right.
And in honestly, within a couple weeks, I'm like, if this is how it's going to be the whole time, and it
Mhm.
was, I honestly felt more connected a lot of times with the teacher than even when an undergrad. Some of it was I was more engaged than I probably was an undergraduate,
Right.
but taking it, I never felt like I was at a distance. I
Yeah.
never felt like I was just trying to get through. And a lot of it was the communications, the discussion boards that are all necessary.
Right.
you're hearing from other students. But I look back on it now, and the education was great, the connection, and I'm impressed at how much connection I made with other people and the professors doing it all
Right.
online
Yeah.
and starting in Pennsylvania, ending in California, and still. So that was I've talked to several friends, and my daughter's currently attending Veritas because
Okay.
it's just it was so good for us. It is just,
Yeah.
I've encouraged other pastors to do it because it's been a great experience for us.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that we are very intentional with relationship building. We feel like it's very, very important, and especially in an online environment, you have to be a little creative about that. But our faculty they take this very, very seriously,
They do.
and I can tell that you have been impacted by that, especially with
That's
those ones that you've mentioned. So I appreciate you
yeah.
bringing that up. Um, if you had to give some advice, what would you say to a potential student who is in your place, rewind 2, 3 years prior to jumping into Veritas, who may be on the fence, who says, I just don't know if I can do this. Do I need this? Should I do
Mhm.
this? Can I afford this? Talk to somebody who's on the fence right now.
Well, the first thing I would say is I underestimated how much value I'd get from it. I knew
That's
I
good.
wanted to take some classes, but the value I got exceeded what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I admit, with everything I was doing, I was this because I wasn't a natural student when
Mm,
I was first starting off. So I thought I'm going to have to put a lot of time into this. And I really thought that it would be overwhelming. There wouldn't be the time.
hmm
But the way it's structured, you do have to put time into it, but it's done in a way where it is achievable. It's
Sure.
not overwhelming. There's enough in there, but because the teachers are there quick to help, that was the big thing.
Good.
That it's in probably the best I've done in academics here, but that a lot of it was the coaching and helping. So I would encourage anybody thinking about it. Don't it's the resource is there and it's more important than you would think because it helps in areas you might not even realize you need help in.
That's right.
And the other one is while it's challenging, they make it easy to do if you stick with it.
Mm,
And they help you along and they walk with you through the process.
that's
And
good.
so even though some of it was very challenging, because they're there, you want to go back to the class because you're learning
Yeah.
so much. And
You
after a
feel
couple
safe,
class,
you feel secure, you
you
feel
do.
safe in those environments. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And
Good.
so I would say go for it. If you're a little nervous, a little afraid, go for it because, and it obviously compared, it's much more affordable than most of the places I looked at.
Right.
But honestly, the way the process is set up made it's so much more helpful. But the process was easier than I thought it would be. Just
Good.
the way it's done, and it fit in with what I was doing in work. So it helped me so much. It made me want to keep going back. So I would
We
say
have
don't be
heard
afraid. Yeah,
we have heard
don't
from
think.
other guests that would say things just like that. They didn't realize how much that they needed this interaction or this knowledge
Yeah.
or academic opportunity until they dip their toes in, and then there is this thirst that is created.
Yes.
Like, oh wow, this is so. I'm
Yeah.
exposed to things that I didn't even know existed, and now I'm really hungry for that information.
Yeah, well, just finishing up, I thought when I got done, like, okay, I'm done. Well, now I'm looking the doctorate, looking to the next level. What can I do
Yes, you
more?
are.
And this
Good.
experience has, instead of from pushing me away from more academics, it's
Yeah,
encouraging me to stay in it.
that's
And
good.
even my wife has said in the last few years, just in ministry and leadership and preaching, she's like, you can see how it's impacted in a lot of areas and some
Oh,
comfort
that's
in what she's seen.
cool.
So,
I bet that
which
means a
I get,
lot. Yeah, that's
it was
good.
good. And so, and I
Yeah,
know, and so she's been thankful for Veritas. She's just encouraged by how much in our conversation, I'm saying that she's just been help. So,
yeah.
and
Oh,
even like
that's
having
good.
coaches come alongside. So it's really,
Right.
yeah, for us,
Yeah,
it's been
and
a huge help.
our faculty, they see themselves as mentors even beyond the academic experience. So you'll have those guys on your speed dial even after you're out of
Mhm.
college and into
Yep.
grad work. A lot of them will be into the graduate program as
Yeah.
well,
I've already
postgraduate.
had I've already had one of my professors in my church to preach. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay,
So
very
it's
good.
been created a friendship. So it's been really neat and very
That's
helpful.
really fun. Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If any of you, Rodney Love is graduating in the class of 2025. We're so thankful that you're able to be a part today. If you're interested in coming to the ceremony, drop the word graduation in the comments. We'll be sure to get you that link. If you are interested in more information about our academics, so Rodney graduated on with a master's program. He's thinking about pursuing a postgraduate degree, we have that as well. We offer undergraduate. We offer Truth Matters Institute, which is our free resource. We have lots of stuff, something for everybody. Drop us a comment if that's something that interests you, and we will look forward to hearing from you. Take Rodney's advice and just make the call. I think that
Yes.
both of us would say it is worth, if the Lord is impressing upon you that you should jump back into classes or get some further formal training, we're here for you. We've got something for you. We look forward
Yeah.
to hearing from you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.